Time for a check of our weather. Meteorologist David Biggar on standby here, talking about that June gloom, and then it just gets hot.
Sort of. I mean, the thing is, it depends on what you define as hot.
Anything above 70 he thinks is hot.
Thank you. She knows me well.
I agree with Jonathan on that, too.
Yes.
So, yes, it's going to be pretty hot for the next couple of days. But, yes, Jonathan was mentioning some of the June gloom. So let's talk a little bit about that here with Futurecast. We'll start right around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. What you'll notice, we have the low cloud deck once again with some fog around parts of the basin into Orange County. But if you look across our inland spots like the San Fernando Valley and the San Gabriel Valley and even a few patches in the IE, we've got a little bit of that early morning gray kind of start to the day as well. That's not going to last very long inland. The clouds will retreat back to the coastline, but they get stuck along the coast. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We can still see some coastal areas are still looking at clouds, especially for the Ventura County coastline. Now, as we go through the overnight hours once again and head into early Thursday morning, you'll notice the low cloud deck makes a return. It's in the same spots. It's over the basin, the San Gabriel Valley, pockets getting into the IE, and some getting into the San Fernando Valley. So this June gloom pattern is definitely going to be around for a couple of days, but it does look like we have an area of low pressure that's going to approach the west coast as we head into the weekend, and that will allow for some additional cooling. So for tomorrow, expect temperatures to be across the upper 90s and low 100s for the high desert. For the area mountains, we're looking at the upper 70s to low 80s. And the lower elevations, this would technically classify as hot by Jonathan's standards. We're looking at the upper 80s and the low 90s with 91 degrees in Paris, 89 degrees in Riverside, 87 in Corona. And I would agree with Jonathan on that. Here's what it looks like for Orange County. The inland temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s with a few low 80s mixed in, like around Anaheim, 81. Along the coastline, temperatures in the low 70s for tomorrow, so 71 degrees in Huntington Beach. Take a look across the valleys of LA and Ventura counties. You'll find some upper 80s to low 90s, so 91 degrees in Santa Clarita, 87 in Van Nuys, 81 Thousand Oaks, 75 in Camarillo. So you're kind of noticing a trend here with some of these inland spots. Doesn't matter if we're starting off with a May gray. It's still going to be warm. Mid 80s for Alhambra, 87 in West Covina, 79 in downtown LA, 72 degrees in Manhattan Beach. If you're like me and you're not a fan of the heat, we've got some good news for you. Basin forecast on top, coastal forecast on the bottom. Next couple of days, we start off with the early morning low cloud cover. That clears out to sunny skies. Temperatures, though, will start to gradually cool off heading toward the weekend. And we'll look at temperatures on Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even into Monday, hovering at about the mid 70s for the basin and the upper 60s and low 70s by the coastline. But as we take a look here at the valleys on top, IE forecast down below, it'll be a nice change over the next few days. The valley spots looking at the mid to upper 80s, again, some low 90s mixed in. Same with the Inland Empire for tomorrow and for Thursday. We'll have some patchy fog just during the morning hours. The rest of the day will be sunny. But look what's coming our way for the weekend. Maybe a little bit more in the way of morning May gray. And temperatures returning to the mid to upper 70s with a few low 80s mixed in as we get into the weekend and the start of next week. High deserts on top. Low desert forecast is down below. Next couple of days, breezy as we get into the afternoon hours. Temperatures will remain in the upper 90s, but we will cool off as well as we get into the weekend, back to about the low 80s by Sunday and Monday. And you'll see a similar pattern here for the area mountains. Temperatures over the next couple of days remain warm, mid to upper 70s. Then as we get into the weekend and the start of next week, we finally cool off back into the upper 60s.